Hi everyone. Hi.
Easy.
Easy. Welcome back to TVI, episode 246. That
Big
sounds
it
like I was about
up.
to sing that song. Do you remember that song from the
2,
is it the
4,
80s?
6, 8.
6, 8 is never too late.
I was
That
gonna.
was,
I was thinking of the 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? What was
oh,
that
but no, there
from?
was that was just like, I don't know actually, but there was that famous song from, I'm sure it was the 80s, Tom something band, the Tom something band, Tom Robinson band. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's never too late.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
like a
know that. I know that
seminal
one.
song from my youth, man. I can literally. That feels like it was like a big background song to a period of my early childhood. Weirdly,
Some songs to me are a little bit like I never get a like Bohemian Rhapsody.
what do you mean? You
It's
find it depressing?
not. I just don't like it. And it was only when I
I mean,
kind of.
that's the
But I
nature of
didn't.
music. I think.
But I didn't actually realise until I'm like, I fucking hate that song. Actually, I was like, oh yeah, you know when you don't realise
Hate.
that you hate something,
Yeah.
or some of I don't really like Madness songs either.
I was never
Oh,
that into
House.
Madness. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like. It ain't
Yeah,
my
no, I
vibe. You
mean,
know what I mean?
no, I mean, Madness weren't my vibe, but I did like. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody, and it is a bit of a. Yeah, I know this is controversial, probably, but you've already said you hate it. But like, I like a lot of Queen stuff, but Bohemian Rhapsody is
Of
not
course
one
you
that I
do.
love. I understand like why it was a big hit because
I can
it was
see that.
so
Yeah, I can see
wild at the
that.
time. Like at this time of sort of the style of music that was in the charts, suddenly this weird like 9, 10 minute whatever it is like opera essentially. I
Fucking
get
ten
why it sort
minutes.
of caught everyone, but
And Wayne's World give it a
yeah, of
second go,
course.
didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say, like, yeah, that's definitely it's not in anywhere near my favorite Queen songs.
Where
But
Kate Bush, I think, is fucking incredible.
yeah.
I mean, everyone thinks
Um,
that, though, don't they? I guess.
yeah. Um, but oh, hold on, I've just realised I've got Twyla on the monitor next to me. I just managed to just get her to sleep when we started, just before we started recording. She's all right. She rolled over, mate. She's good.
Is it a video monitor?
I've got a video monitor. Yeah, I was about to show
Oh,
you. I
that's
was like, that's
cool.
not. I don't want to show you my sleeping child.
Show us. What does it look like? Just stream it on your new OnlyFans.
Do you know actually that's because yeah? So
You might
anyway,
get
that
some
reference there
cash
is
in.
genuine.
It's harmless.
So for
It's
listeners,
harmless.
actually, I'm going to ask a favour of our listeners. And I mean,
Borrow a
obviously,
tenner.
can you, can you pay me to look at my dick? Um,
Can you
no,
nail on my
basically,
balls?
at the end of the Fringe, on the last Monday of the Fringe, I finished on the Sunday, but I stayed in town for an extra day to do a gig for OnlyFans, and it was a gig called LMAOF, Laugh My Arse Off, and they've been doing them around the world, and it's basically there's a collection of acts. OnlyFans are now sort of they've got because OnlyFans obviously has been slightly co-opted by sort of sex content creators, right? But
Yeah.
that's not what it was created for. That's not what it's like. There's loads of non-sex related stuff on there. So they've
Yeah,
tried. They're doing more
sure.
comedy stuff, and they've been doing producing these
Honestly,
shows.
Hannah, that's the direct debit. It's this band I'm into. I love the knitting classes.
But I did a gig for OnlyFans, and as part of the agreement to do the gig, obviously, like you agree to sort of sign up and put some stuff on there, as a platform, as if it's like sort of treat it as a social media platform. So I've put a few little vids up. I did for a laugh put one funny topless photo on it, but it's from 2020 during a pandemic lockdown. I look like a psychopath. I basically had my skinhead. I've got a pair of shorts pulled up around just under my nipples, and I was just sort of like standing in the kitchen looking like a psycho. So I thought it'd be funny to put that on it, but I've actually just put a little funny stand-up clip and a sort of a welcome video. But if anyone listening, if you are on OnlyFans for whatever reason you are, even if you're not, you can just sign up and just give me a follow on OnlyFans if you are on there, because it's
I
it'd
might
just be
just
nice
start
to
doing
get.
wanking videos on there. Just without...
I mean, I'll give it about a week before I'm knocking one out on there, mate. The first time I get a DM from somebody saying, "Look, man, I know you're doing comedy stuff, but how much?"
I know this is
You know,
weird, but you're probably obviously going to say no. But could you send me a wanking video and I'll give you four
yeah,
grand?
mate. If somebody offered me 4 grand, I
If
would.
my face wasn't in it,
Mate, 4 grand. I'd fucking jizz on my own face.
I'd CC my kids in. I'd
£4
CC my
grand.
aunties.
Oh, mate, I would absolutely wank off with my face on camera for £4 grand.
Yeah, but that's gonna like, I don't know, it'd do the rounds, wouldn't it? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know,
but
not nowadays.
but then I suppose you've got to think of the long game, mate. If it does the rounds, chances are you're going to get more DMs for them
You
sort
could
of
be in the
videos, man.
jungle next season.
I'm hosting the Masked Singer Australia in 3 years. No, but basically what I'm saying is, worst case scenario, it does the rounds. You have to have some awkward conversations with friends and family.
Didn't know you had a really small cock. You seem quite confident, man. Like, you're doing well, man.
But best case scenario, you do it, it does the rounds, and you get another DM the next day. Can you send me a video like that as well, personalised?
Yeah, but once they've
£5 grand.
seen that one, they don't
but
need another
personalise
one.
them, mate. I'll say their name.
Write their name on your cock or something.
Yeah, and if you do it, mate, knocking out one of them a day, you end up minted, man.
Yeah, but once you've got 5 wanking videos doing the rounds, no one's going to give you £4 grand for a fifth. Like, they've seen it,
What are you
they've
talking
come.
about? What do you think OnlyFans creators are doing? The proper high end ones that are like not high end.
Yeah, but you'll have to do a lot more than just like bang one out. You'll have to do loads of different styles. You know what I mean? Probably some arse play. I'll give you £1 grand now if you wank off. Just stop the record.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I suppose therein lies the worry of, like, if you did end up doing that, is very
What's that
quickly.
thing called? You should go on Dragon's Den and pitch that.
What?
Just pitch that you're going to wank off on video. I want a 50%.
I'm looking for a 200 grand startup fee.
I need 16 pairs of pants, some bog roll. It's going to cost about 84 quid total. I'm looking for a 50% stake hold.
But yeah, I mean, it's a sliding scale, isn't it? I suppose it's that thing you always say, I'll just do it once. And then the money comes in, you're like, I'll do it one more time. And then next thing you know, it is flash forward
Next
6
thing you
months.
know, it's your regular job for 4 years.
Man. You're just getting pegged on a live
Next thing
stream.
you're an old man wanking off.
In a big house. So, I don't know, man.
Dead behind the eyes porn star on some Louis Theroux documentary.
Oh man, have you ever watched any of them documentaries? Like, there's one on Netflix called After Porn Ends or something.
Yeah, they all seem. It seems sad,
one of the hardest
doesn't it?
watches, man, because it is that thing of like Annie, and I'm throwing comedy into this as well. Like, any sort of creative industry, and I think porn is part of that, right? You know, where it's outside the norm. And it doesn't really have something like if you don't make it massive, you ain't got a pension, you're not loaded.
Yeah.
It's almost like seeing them sort of washed out old comedians who just do a couple of cruises and like.
Let's not bring me into it. What were you saying?
But every time you see them at a normal gig, they're dying. They don't really have the sort of chops for the clubs
and
anymore.
The energy off of them in a green room as well. Like, it feels like
there's something
like
tragic
quite
about
bleak, in it. Yeah.
And when you watch them ones like After Porn Ends, man, you see it to the most extreme level, man. They just look,
because that's a whole nother level, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
they've put so much of it themselves out there, man.
Yeah, it's quite degrading, isn't it? Like, their bum hole with 2 cocks in it.
Yeah, it's not an easy recovery, I reckon. No. It's going to be, and what that After Porn Ends shows is people that then try and go back to the real world, and how tricky that is, man. Like,
especially with relationships as well.
But also it depends on your notoriety. There was one person they interviewed in the documentary called Houston, and apparently back in the day, like back in the 90s or something, she was one of the first people that did one of these like extreme days where like she banged like 500 people in a day.
Oh god!
Literally.
I call that a Tuesday. What did she do for her extreme day?
But she did that, and like I think she must have been one of them big famous ones in the 90s, and she said like it got to the point where when she retired and that, once her sort of kids came of age where it became apparent they worked out what she used to do, she couldn't even, like, her kids wouldn't even let her drop her off at school and stuff because they just like know the other parents will recognise you, and it just creates such weird dynamics in your
There's a lot of
life, I
like
imagine.
ricochets onto other parts of your life, definitely. Kids, man,
Yeah, yeah,
that'd
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
hard, man.
Well, it's a hard one to describe, isn't it? So you can't. It's a hard one
I mean,
to.
your mum didn't do 500, did she? I know she did 4.
Yuck. But yeah, so that's. But anyway, but all that aside, if anyone fancies following me on OnlyFans for actual just funny videos,
Carl's going to do 500 comes in a day. Look forward to your Christmas countdown this year.
my calendar every day, just wanking in a different Christmas jumper.
See what your cum tastes different with different diets.
Oh God. But anyway, it's good to be back from Edinburgh.
I've been
You
so
all right?
ill, man, for the last
Have
month.
you really?
Fucking hell. Not like extremely
What's
ill,
the
but just
latest?
it's not going, though. It's just
But I've
not.
heard because last time we talked, weren't you just on the cusp of getting some test results?
I
You've done
got my
some,
I got my blood. Oh yeah, I got my blood test. Yeah.
and how is it?
Weirdly, my
Have you
cholesterol
got
was.
the clap? You've got it.
They
Come on.
they set my blood back and said we can't have this contaminating the lab.
It's all
Set off a
bubbly.
patient zero shit going on. Some baboon shit.
28 days later.
They all turned into zombies. Started eating each other's brains. Yeah, my testosterone was at good level.
Okay.
I was thinking it was low because I was feeling so deflated, but I've had a chest infection. I've kind of diagnosed
Right.
myself
Yeah, yeah.
because my white blood cell was high and inflammation was high, which suggests it's fighting an infection when it's like that.
Okay, yeah.
Which makes sense because I fucking felt rough, man.
So what?
But
Anything else weird? What else? Was there anything of concern in your blood tests?
cholesterol was high, weirdly.
Really?
But I
What
spoke
you
to
been
my mum,
eating?
who's been a vegan since the 60s, and her
Yeah.
cholesterol has been high on a blood test. So she
You
said it's
can get
nothing to worry about.
like it's a myth that like this idea that if you're vegan you can't have high cholesterol. That's absolutely you
But
can
she
still eat
doesn't
loads of
eat
fatty
any
stuff.
bad food, though. There's nothing
I mean there
bad.
could be genetic reasons for it as well, obviously. But
Yeah, I mean,
you
I
just got
have,
them chubby genes. You got them fat genes, mate.
but I was eating a lot of shit, to be fair. So
Right,
I
yeah,
have
yeah. I mean
sorted
that's
it
it.
out.
Yeah.
And yeah, but what else? Just that, really. Everything was normal, man. Vitamins, all that.
That's all right. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
it was alright, man.
I
Yeah.
I weighed myself yesterday, man. I came back from Edinburgh and I felt shit, man. Like, not old school shit. Like when I used to come back from Edinburgh, I literally felt like I'd just come back from a 1 month stag do, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I was fucked just from being pissed the whole month. But like, it just felt different this time. Like, because we had the family up. We were doing like a different thing. I was still going out for beers in the evenings, a couple of drinks. I'd do late shows at the weekend. My days were busy all day, every day, because like Hannah was working a lot. So me and Twyla just spent the whole time just going to kids shows and going around. But so like I did that thing where I walked about 30,000 steps a day up hills, basically. But I was eating. I swear to God, I was eating 5 meals a day, and I was eating so many snacks in between just to keep your energy up. So like I came back feeling like fat, but also really fit. Do you know what I mean? That weird thing of like
Your
I
cardio can
reckon
be
that.
great with more
Oh
weight on
mate, I
you.
felt like the
Yeah.
fittest I've ever felt, but I also felt the chunkiest. And I think it was just pure psychosomatic. I weighed myself yesterday thinking it was going to be the worst. And I basically am not in, I reckon I've got a couple of kilograms to shift to like, I thought I was going to be like, 5 kilograms higher than I actually
The
turned out to be.
walking is so good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
30,000
yeah.
every day.
Yeah, man. But I really I think I got away with that. I think it was probably, do you know what it probably was? And this is gross, but I reckon it was bloating. When you're like sort of eating a lot, your body isn't turning it all into fat. It's not all on you, is it? You're carrying a lot of
Could be a
like
lot of water weight and
retention. Yeah, man. So actually, even in the few days after being back, I feel like I've just deflated a bit, and I feel like I've actually not in as bad nick as I thought. So I'm
because
getting
you
back to
eat
the
quite
gym later this
healthy,
week.
didn't you? Generally, like a lot of veggies and stuff.
Yeah, loads. So,
What's the
but I
bad
also love a
food that you eat?
treats, man. Like, You know, especially in Edinburgh, man. There's
Sugar.
like amazing vegan donut shop that I'd go to, vegan ice cream places. Like, there's just so many vegan places that, you know, when I'm out and about, I'm always just like, you know, if you're tired, fuck it, mate, get a coffee and a cake, just keep
Yeah,
you
yeah,
going.
yeah.
And I did that just for the whole month, and like, but luckily I was walking enough that I definitely kept off the
I
worst of
think
it.
all bets are off in Edinburgh, though. Really, like,
Oh, definitely.
I was there pure vegan one year, and I lost so like I looked gaunt, man,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
just
yeah.
because I wasn't having the calories and like. And I came back and I was smoking as well, roll ups,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
I looked like grey when I came back, all
I end up honking on
sad.
I end up honking on a vape a bit in Edinburgh, man. Just because my history of Edinburgh is I've never done it in Edinburgh, I don't think, where I've not just ended up on the fucking snouts, man. Just like in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
abattoir bar at 1 a.m. Somebody gives you a fag, you're like, next thing you know, you get a taste, you go like next day you buy a pack, and it's just such a risk. Like, I've never ended up
yeah.
fully get back in smoking from it, but I've always had quite a few fags during the fringe. And this year I was like, I'm just not going to do that. It was like right at the start. I think someone like Elliot still gave me a fag or something like, and I had one. I was like, that's gross, man. I don't want to do it. So I end up sort of like, yeah, buying a little cheeky vape to honk on in the evening, like when I've got that little, you know, you get that little sort of sudden temptation, man. You know,
I've switched
but that's
vapes to like an off of the disposables. It's a good hit, man, but I'm gonna think about slowing it down. Like this is a bit
I do.
easier
I
on the
mean,
chest.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not even you just. I mean, you need to not just honk on it all day, every day.
I
That is
know. I
that
might get some
cannot be good
patches
for
or
you.
something, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that can't be good for your lungs, man. The way you do that, you can't do it from morning to sleep
it's
and
definitely
not have
not
some
good.
negative
It
effect.
can't be
Obviously, it's not
good.
as bad as smoking, but
Yeah,
it is
it's
not.
still
It's not as
not
good as air
good.
either, is it?
Nah, I just feel like London though. There's so much pollution and shit, man. Like,
Oh, yeah, you
fucking, we
might
got
as well
no
add to it.
chance.
Might as well add some
Might as
pollution
well get
straight into
some
your lungs.
crack.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so let's we've got loads of questions and stuff. So yeah, we'll be back to normal regularity now.
We're getting the
It's that
studio
classic.
soon.
It's that classic thing where before I went up to Edinburgh, I said to you, "Oh no, it'll be fine, man. I'll have loads of free time." And then you get to Edinburgh, and it's like you have no free time in Edinburgh at all.
I know,
Like
especially
it's
Twyla was
mad.
there as well.
Yeah, so I was busy with Twyla during the day, and then my show was at 9 o'clock at night every night apart from one. So I only had one night off out of 26 days, and I even did the last Monday as well when I did that
I
extra
thought you
show.
were going there for 2 weeks for some reason, but that was last year, was it?
And last year I did 5 nights.
Ah, that was it.
But yeah, man, like it feels ungodly. Like, I loved it. I had a really fun fringe. I loved the place, man. But like doing 26 nights where you have one night off in the middle is absolutely ungodly, man. Just it makes you so tired.
I do
Like I
miss it. I
realise
did start to feel a bit like miss it a little bit, like down
you
near
should
the
go up next year and just
caves.
do a week, mate. Just go do a
I
week
might
and just
do
do a
that, man.
little
Just
late night gig.
bang a little 50 minutes out each
Yeah,
night.
50 minutes on the free fringe, mate.
No other
Honestly,
gigs.
yeah, that's what, do you know what? I tell you what, that's the thing I did this year. I did, like, I was doing my show. I did one Best of the Fest in the evening, one Late and Live. I did one All Stars. I did one afternoon Best of the Fest. And apart from that, I hardly did anything. I popped down to do Ross McGrain's little evening show a couple of times. That was good fun. But that was just to see, like, you know, there was a bunch of good guys
It's
doing it.
nice
So it
if
was
it's
more
some good people that you know in it.
yeah.
Like
But like, I hardly did any extra gigs. Gone are the days when I used to do 3 or 4 gigs in a day, man. And I had such a nice run from treating it
especially if
like
it's like weird
nice.
times and like you've got to go out in the afternoon and then go back and
Yeah,
then go
man.
back
Fuck
to your
that.
show. It's like, nah, mate,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
going to
it's
bed.
but I
I
recommend it,
cancelled so
man.
many gigs when I was there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But I
can't do it, man.
reckon you
Hanging
should
about.
you should do it though next year, man. Honestly, it's fun. If we're and if yeah, but I think I'm gonna go back next year.
We should do
I
some
really
pods
loved
up
it.
there next year,
That's
man.
what I was thinking. Yeah, we'll do it. But yeah, but anyway, but so I'm now things will go back to normal now. My plan was to try and do one a week when I was there remotely, but it just got too tricky, man. There was times it was like, yeah, we'll do one after my show, and I'd finish my show. By the time I get home, it'd be 11 o'clock, and I was just knackered. So it just got too hard. So this week we'll get in the studio this week and get on with things, man.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
We've got loads of questions. I haven't actually scanned through the questions. I presume there'll be some Oasis related stuff. Do you know anyone that got Oasis tickets?
Um, yeah, I think I do, but it's online. What's his name? Mark, the Scottish comic. I saw that he got
Oh,
them.
Mark Nelson. Yeah, he got some.
I think he got some, but
I
that's
know
only
quite a few
online.
comics got them.
I saw that.
Yeah, like Rachel Fairburn, she got them.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I know a few comics
I
that got
reckon
them, but
McCaffrey
like,
will get them.
yeah, probably. But like, I've got a couple of mates who got older than like non-comedy mates. I got in the queue. Like, it's that thing. Like, weirdly, and I know this is going to sound weird, like, because most of my, I've got so many mates who are mad Oasis fans, but like, I'm not that bothered. I think it'd be fun to go, but I'm not that
I
worried
think
about it. Like,
as bands go, they are like one of my favourite, I'd say. But I'm not a mad band person, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's not like I'm going to lose my mind.
no,
I'd
like I
be
wouldn't
interested
pay the
to be
amount
there.
that they are asking for. Basically, that's my issue.
Nah.
Is like, I also like that out of all my bands that were seminal in my youth. Like Oasis, weirdly, are one of the ones that I never ever listen to their music anymore. Like, you know, sort of all the other sort of Britpop, like Blur, Suede, Pulp, all them making a reoccurrence. Like every probably 6 months, I'll suddenly be listening to a bunch of Suede stuff,
Where
or
do you listen
I'll
to?
do
Like on
Blur.
Spotify?
Spotify, yeah. I've got loads of different playlists I've put together over the years, and like, all of it. Like, there's so many different bands and offshoots of the bands, like Pulp. Then you had like Richard Hawley, and then you
James.
had like I love James. Like all them bands, I would say I've
What were
listened
they
to.
called again? I got a sandstorm going through my head. See many colours, but the only one that's coming through is red.
Who's that? Which one's that?
I can't sing, that's why. You probably know it. It's
Um,
probably your
but yeah,
favourite song.
that's my favourite song. But
Cast, that's it.
Cast,
Ocean
yeah.
colour scene.
Ocean Colour Scene, man. I think there's talk of Ocean Colour Scene being
Alanis.
on the
Alanis was
bill
good
on the
around that
warm up.
time, wasn't
I
she?
loved a bit of Alanis Morissette. But
Yeah,
like
man.
genuinely, or everyone there, even Alanis Morissette now and again, one of her songs will be on one of my playlists. Like out of all the playlists I listen to all year round, Oasis are not on a single one of them. And they were literally my favourite band when I was 14,
I
right?
mean, they are
But
bangers. That first two albums, man.
but they're also, for me, they are so of
Dated.
their time. They're
Yeah.
so dated. Like, and I know that's not, there's going to be people I know that would be angry about that,
Some of
but
their B
I just,
sides and that could hold the weight though. They're a bit
but I don't think,
overplayed,
I don't know.
maybe.
For me, maybe, but just, I get it. For everyone else, I get it. But for me, like out of every single band of that period, all the people I was into at that age, I was a massive Prince fan around the same time. I still listen
Yeah.
to Prince regularly. Like, but just Oasis have like it's almost like for me they capture that time, and that's it. I let it go there. I'm like, I don't want to. I just want to keep that from where it was. They were like one of my first ever singles I bought of my own accord, like my own money. I went out for on the weekend and I bought Free. Um, was
What,
it
the
Free?
single?
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Live
Yeah. Do you
Forever.
remember that? The one that goes, "I'm free to be
Oh yeah.
whatever
Isn't
I
that
do." I think it
Live?
was like their first. I think that was their first single. And I remember buying it on tape, and I must have been 11 or something.
Do you remember the
And it was
music
like,
just before Oasis? It was a bit, oh god, I can't, Jesus Jones, or like The Farm. Do you remember
yeah.
them?
I
Were
remember
they
the
called The
Farm.
Farm, were they?
Well, there was a band called the Farm, but then
Yeah, I remember
that's I
they were
suppose,
like
but that period, but the late 80s through to that was like that was really cool stuff, like
Charlatans, The
the
Stone Roses.
the Stone Roses, yeah. Like, even like you'd say like the Cure and that probably that would a bit earlier, but then carried through there, and
Yeah, they had a
the
couple of
House
bangers.
Martins and all that. Like really,
House
just
Martins are fucking incredible, aren't they, that
well,
guy?
Paul Heaton obviously he's touring, isn't he? He's doing a big tour, but he's done the opposite of what Oasis have done. He's got a cap on all his ticket prices. Like, I don't think any of his tickets are more than 35 quid a ticket
They're doing
because he was like,
they're doing a smash and grab with the money, I bet, though, aren't they? Like,
"Yeah,
just,
mate."
I
Well,
mean,
Noel's had a
people,
bloody £20 million divorce last year, so
the tickets are
I can't.
worth what people will pay, though. I guess, but I
Yeah,
do
but I don't
admire
agree with
people
that.
that put a cap on it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I think it's a piss take, mate. I don't like. Again, this goes back to that thing of, I think I would like to see Oasis in a reunion show. Even though the 2 times I saw them live, I didn't think they were that good. But that was Glastonbury's, where they were notoriously shit at Glastonbury's, weren't they? They've even said it themselves.
What, because they
But
were out
like,
there nut or something?
no, they just sort of. It's one of them things. Noel's always said like they never nailed Glastonbury. They sort of never just. They weren't their best gigs, and I just
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
it, and it
yeah.
was. I always thought they were really
It's kind of like me at
disappointing.
the Comedy Store, you know what I mean?
And other gigs.
It's kind of like me on stages.
You at the Fringe,
It's
but
kind of like me in Edinburgh, maybe.
yeah. That's it. Maybe next year they're doing a reunion, mate. Next year, do your Julian Deane
I might
returns to
do
the
a big
Fringe.
reunion in Edinburgh. And it's like,
One night in the Pleasance Grand, 800 seats,
in the Presence
12 people show
courtyard
up.
outside, busking.
12 people in a 1,000-seater.
My family.
But no, but
I've got a sister
yeah, I
that got
wouldn't
in
pay
touch
that
in
money.
Australia, found a
Oh
new
yeah,
sister and a new brother, another new brother.
are you serious?
Yeah, he's and we're doing a Zoom call in the morning.
Holy shit!
So the sister, I messaged her in 2004.
This was the one you mentioned when we were talking about family revelations.
Yeah,
about
because
7 or
my
8
dad
episodes
slung
ago.
it about, and she didn't have, like, I just felt like I've just walked into her life, like I'd let her
Yeah,
know that
man.
my dad's her dad, and I always felt like
Yeah,
it's a little bit hasty of me, really. But she got in
yeah. No, I
touch.
agree.
She got in touch. Her daughter did a DNA test. Her daughter's 22, and it come back. She just did it for curiosity, and she did it. Her granddad. It wasn't her granddad. My dad was her granddad.
Yes.
And then they just
Not
emailed
yes as
me
in
and
yes.
said,
I mean this yes as in this is coming together.
yeah. And then they did. They've got and then they're just working hard on it they're in Sydney,
Yeah.
and they're working hard at it. They found I've got another brother. We've
Oh
done a Zoom
shit, man.
call. Me and my sister, who I know, Jane, we did a Zoom
Yeah.
call with the Australian sister and her daughter. And it was just
Yes.
really lovely. Like, such lovely people, man.
Yeah.
She's a
Well, we talked
journalist
about
for The
how.
Guardian in Australia.
Oh
And
really?
yeah, it was just really nice people, man. It was weird as well. Because the brother, who's in his 60s, a lot older, about 50 years older, he
It's about 4 years older.
it's a year above me.
It's your twin.
He looks like my dad, because I knew my dad when he was that age.
Right. Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
is
of
weird
course.
in pictures on Facebook. I'm like, fuck, it's like eerie.
Yeah, man.
So that's
Um,
nice.
but yeah, we'll do. So yeah, we need to. I've had a couple of messages. I mean, we talked about doing a sort of Patreon only sort of secret, like revelations show. Which
Yeah,
I think
like
we should
maybe
do it. Let's try and do
our
it
worst
next week
secrets.
because I've got a few of those. I've got some but I can't really say them publicly yet
Maybe
because
I could do some confessions or something.
yeah. I could do a few of those as well from my past.
I
But
could do some things that I've been in trouble for
yeah.
from like
But
10 years old.
yeah. But we'll do it because I've got a few of the things you're talking about now, but I just
Have
can't
you? Yeah.
really. Well, I can't really say them publicly yet because they could get back to the.
Nor
Cause
can
I
I,
know
but I just did.
I know. Yeah, I know you're a bit more loose-lipped than me.
Sink ships.
You're a fucking ship leveler, mate. Just like a U-boat.
Submarine.
So yeah, we'll do one because I mean, I'd be happy to share them with the patrons, but I don't want them getting fully publicly shared as yet. It wouldn't cause too many ructions, but there's just a few people that are a bit out of the know that
I had to
wouldn't want
leave
to
the
find out.
political splinter group.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a funny week, man. That was a few weeks back.
You know what? I was really ill, and the way I see it, right? The way I see,
that was the way you did it, mate.
the way I mean,
I think it was all the incendiary shit you were saying.
But everybody on the group has got, and they're obviously like I feel like I know them well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
From from like the main group, or other splinters as well. You know what I mean? We've done really personal splinter groups, like
yeah.
I feel that it's like that thing, isn't it? if two people see a car crash, they'll have
Yeah.
completely different stories. And I just feel like
Yes.
politics is like that. Like we just, I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know what it is, but some people see it like that. There's intelligent people on both sides, but they're
Yeah.
completely the opposite way they're seeing it. And it
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
fascinating to me. Um,
Yes, but I don't think. But no, but I don't think any of the beef that was happening in there was because of seeing the other side. There was just a few little ding dongs that happened
I don't think I
where.
did anything. Did I
No, you didn't say anything. No, no, not like that. But I mean, like, it felt like you thought you were. um
upsetting people?
Yeah, and you weren't. Like, since you've left it,
Ah,
it's quieting down a bit, and everyone's like, yeah, if anything, it's sort of got a bit more almost boring in there since you left because there isn't the ding dongs. But
yeah. I just
you
because
know,
that was my plan. I did say at the beginning. I said everyone's on one side. I said
yeah,
I will put the other side in just for the
yeah,
sake
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because to be honest, as well, I do kind of watch the other side. You know what I mean?
That's all you watch, mate. I've literally, whenever every time I open our fucking TVI YouTube,
Oh
the
shit! I do
algorithm,
think
mate,
I do
it's
think
fucking it's like incendiary. I'm
I
like,
do
no one
think
whose
that
brain's rotted.
I do think that like when you go on, I've started to use my own one now. I think
Just mate, the damage is done, bro. That algorithm ain't coming back.
I've been too deep down the wormhole. We need to change the name of the podcast.
Oh man, honestly, because I never look
But
at
I mean,
YouTube. I
I
literally
watch
never
things
watch
that
YouTube, so I don't ever look at any of it. But it's
I
just whenever I
obviously
open it, it's
watch.
just
I like watching debates, and I don't, agree with them, but I just like the skill in it and the debates, and like, I'll watch a Hitler speech. Maybe it doesn't mean I like Hitler. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I'm sure I saw one of them on the old previously
I'm
viewed
sure I saw
lists.
me doing a Hitler speech. Also, I did find out that I think I have got Jew in me.
Okay, it's a nice way to put it. Mm. Well, I thought your dad, yeah, because I thought your dad was Jewish, wasn't he?
Well, his surname was
But he didn't
Golden.
admit to it. No, he didn't tell you and admit to it. He hid it.
Nah, and he changed the name to Dean. But
Yeah, yeah.
Golden is a bit of a
What
Jewy
year was he
name.
born? What year was he born?
27. He was
So I mean,
like
there's a
he was like
understandable
50.
reason to
He was
change that
like
name, during that
he was
period of
about
time, isn't
50 when I
there?
was born or something. He was an
Yeah.
old dad. Just to get that out of. He was born the same year as Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
But so you were probably born the
And
same year
I've
as
also got
Humphrey
Sicilian.
Bogart. So-
I was born in black and white. It was when the world. I used to think the world used to be black and white, like when I
yeah.
was younger, until like someone told me today. Oh,
But yeah, but
but
anyway, but
I've
no,
I've
there's
also
sort
got
of.
Sicilian blood.
Have you? Have you done a
Yeah,
DNA test?
no, but I've just looked at the family tree.
Ah, you should do one of them DNA tests, man.
Yeah, Jane's
Just get
gonna
a
do
good
one. I
get a
will
good
do
little
one. Yeah,
overview. It's they're pretty interesting. I mean, I did
hundred
mine because I got
percent
bought one.
Somalian.
Just a pirate. But yeah, because I got bought one in it. My mother-in-law bought me one as a gift, which I've
Oh
got a
yeah.
bit about on stage about how rude that is for your mother-in-law to get you a DNA
Just want to check
test.
your
Yeah,
oddball.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just want to do some research on you. But yeah, I mean, mine was shit in it. I got 100%. No, I've got my routines about the fact genuinely I got sent it. The one I did, they send you like a map, and it shows you like sort of it highlights the areas as well as showing you
The
this
middle of the
makeup as a
ocean.
list.
You
But
fucking
mine was just
lizard.
one. The man
You,
from Atlantis.
you're a fucking squid, bruv. You're a dirty clam. This was your mum, and you scroll in for ages, and it was just a hooer house. I've also
But
got like a strong Irish.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all mine was. But mine showed the region, and 100% of mine just comes from this tiny little like 5 mile radius. It's like the
Just
most
three
inbred.
brothers had turns on their
Yeah, mate.
sister.
Basically, it's disgusting. But I wish there's
Yeah,
some
but it doesn't
questions,
mean it
man.
was.
Shit.
I
But it
mean,
definitely means there's some inbreeding going on,
I
mate,
mean
back in
that.
the day.
But I guess if you go far back enough, everyone's got that, ain't they? From Adam
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Eve.
Let's see what's going on. There's loads of questions. I hope we should have got into them sooner, man. First one's so boring, but I like it. It's from Bill. He says, when you have to hire a car or get a train to do a gig, is it worth it for one gig, or do you try and get a few in the area?
I always think that's a tricky one. Like, I've never hired a car for a gig, but you have got
I
it
do it all the
down.
time. Yeah, like you've got a. It's. I mean, I wouldn't do it for any gig, obviously. Like, but it's got to be. Normally, what it will be is if I've got two gigs night after night, and they're a bit of a mission, then I'll hire
What,
a
when you're
car. Because
staying at a hotel sort of up
yeah,
north or
or even if
something?
they're far, and I'm going to drive there, drive back, drive. Imagine I was doing some bloody thing in Leicester or something, and the next day I'm in Bristol. I'd still probably drive there, come back. If the trains are all a bit dodgy and expensive, and it's late in the day, I'd probably hire a car, drive there, drive home, drive to Bristol, drive back, drop the car back the next morning. Because you can always get. Well, I mean, I somehow always find cheap car rental deals, like that cheaper than if you book a train late in the day, man, they're so expensive now. But you can normally get a hire car for like 60 quid a day.
And what are those
You know,
cars called that you can just go and they're parked all over the place?
Zip. So I've got a Zipcar
Is that what you use,
business
zip cars?
account. They're the ones I use if I need a car short notice, and I want to go within, say, I'd say the furthest I'd go in a Zipcar would be sort of like into Sussex, because you can only take it for 60 miles in a day before you start getting charged extra. And so I'd only take it in that sort of outer ring of Greater London, a bit beyond.
And you don't use it enough, I guess, like hundreds of pounds a month, is it? No.
Never, no. My car costs over the year would be probably less than 1,500 quid in total for maybe 2 grand for zip car and hire cars over the year.
It's probably easier the
Which,
way you do it then, isn't it? Than sort of
yeah, but it
lease a
saves me. I
car or
don't
whatever.
want to own a car. I used to hate owning a car. The hassle of looking after it and MOTs and tax, and I didn't
It's
use it
just so
enough.
expensive. Like I pay
But how much would you
like
reckon? Just off, I guess, insurance, maintenance, everything else. Like, how much do you reckon you spend a year on your car?
insurance, and I've got this other thing where you pay a service fee. So but I don't pay for the service. That means
Right.
so they service it every year at the show,
Okay.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
place I
Yeah.
bought it. That's 45. My insurance is 130 a month.
130 a month.
My
Holy
old car it was like
shit.
46.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My
Plus tax. How much is tax nowadays?
tax isn't too bad on mine. Parking is like good.
Oh yeah,
Like my
parking. Yeah.
residential's like 30 quid for like 3 months.
Okay.
It's crazy good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've got some outgoings. I need a car though. Like I
Well, I
do
mean,
the
you
school
do the school
run,
run. So yeah,
shop,
it's
like
different,
just
isn't it?
I'm in it every day. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. But I wasn't. That's why I never bothered getting one again. Once me and my ex split up, and I was going to say I gave her the car. She took the car, and
Whose car
I
was it?
it was ours. But I think she'd used it more than me. I never. Like, I don't like driving.
Did
So
you get anything, or you didn't own a house or anything? No.
no, 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 no. I didn't get shit, mate. I
Did
just
you get
paid
any
all
of
the
her?
costs of our divorce.
Did you get any of her old
Um,
knickers?
oh, so anyway, there we go. I hope Bill. I know it was quite a boring chat, but I mean, I hope we answered
I
it.
made it boringer by elaborating
No, but it
some.
is. I mean, it's quite a boring thing, but it's quite a grown-up conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maria said, "Do you think closing shops at 4 p.m. on Sunday is acceptable
No,
in this
it's
day
not
and age?"
acceptable.
See, I like it on a Sunday. The shops, like the sort of big supermarkets, shutting early. It's a bit of a hark
I
back to the old
don't. I like
days.
a late. When was all this promised of 24-hour supermarkets? That never actually happened, did it?
It used to happen. They've reined it back. The big supermarket down the road from me, big Sainsbury's, in my childhood was open 24 hours a day. You could go there Saturday night at fucking 2 a.m. and pissed out of your head and do a big shop if you wanted. And now it's shut. Like, Be the worst shop you've ever
Your
done.
jaw swinging, still fucking dancing. Just do your main shop. I bet there was fucking like some bad shops happened, man.
Oh man, just the worst, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just yeah, but yeah, that's what we used to do, man. Sometimes I'd go out in Wimbledon, get pissed, and so I always had this weird thing where if I was munted in Wimbledon at like 2 a.m., I'd walk back to Tooting. It'd be like an hour's walk, but I just felt like it was good to get some of the booze out of my system, like get a better sleep, not feel as hungover the next day.
That's
And it
sensible,
meant
man.
and it meant walking along Collier's Wood, and that's where the big Sainsbury's is. And I sometimes would just go in and just do some shopping. 3 a.m,
I was
munted.
so like irresponsible and not sensible when I was drunk, man. I would have never done anything that was good for me. You know what I mean? That was setting me up for a good day
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. But anyway, but what I will say is like I'm talking about 4 p.m.s on Sunday. That's one day of the week where I don't mind it. I don't mind that thing of like you thinking, oh, we need something from the shop, and you look and it's 5, and you're like, oh, the big Tesco's will be shut. But there's always little like Tesco Expresses. But she's saying she's in Cornwall, so that means everything is shut.
I have a couple of
And
24-hour shops near me. Actually, it's weird. They're just like a mini market kind of. You
yeah,
know, almost like a what are they called? I don't know, like a Londis kind of vibe.
yeah, like a convenience shop.
Yeah, so there's one of them, but they never got quite what you want, have they?
No,
Like,
never. Yeah, definitely. Like you end up just buying a pack of crisps and
yeah,
like a
like a pot
fucking
noodle
an aloe vera juice or some shit. You always buy some
with little
weird
bubbly
drink.
lumps in it. You're like, this is nice. Is this not? I can't work out if like, this is nice or not. Chewing
Tastes like
your
vomit.
juice.
Um, but I do remember when first time I went when I was with my ex-wife. First time we did a Christmas down at her family's, just in Sussex. But like I was from Tooting. I lived in Tooting. Like Tooting's a very Asian area, right? So like obviously
Oh
Christmas isn't as
God, no
big a
wonder you got out.
deal.
Not really.
But what I mean is Christmas in terms of the shops. Like, if you go up Upper Tooting, Tooting High Street, there's shops open on Christmas Day forever because, like, obviously, people that don't celebrate Christmas, so why would
Yeah,
they shut, right? So, like, I remember sort of, I took that for granted my whole life, and then I spent Christmas down in Sussex, and on Boxing Day,
just
I
pure
always used to go out to
honky
the
land.
shops, mate. I used to go to, I don't know, do you ever do that? Boxing Day sales and all that. Go out on Boxing Day and just go
Yeah,
shopping. I used to love it, man. I used to go to Wimbledon or go to Kingston or Croydon, whatever. And then, yeah, I was like, we woke up Boxing Day in Sussex, and I went, all right, should we go out to the sales? And she's like, what? And I was like, what, the shops? Like, oh, the shop's open. And she was like, nothing's open in this whole town. Not even on the big high street.
not
Like, the
even the
whole
police
town was
station.
mate, it was a ghost town. I remember just going out of my mind, just having to sit with family all day. It
Oh
was
God.
gross. Um, let's do this. What do you think of Salt Bay? Do you think he's happy? I mean, I don't get it myself. I don't really understand why anyone would go to a restaurant that isn't done by a good chef, but just by a fucking Instagram or TikTok geezer.
I mean,
It's
he's
all
he's over.
nonsense.
Like he's still going, is he? That was like about a year ago, isn't it? More.
I think, well, because he opened a restaurant here, and everyone was going there and paying 500 quid for a steak for him to fucking drop
Do
the
the
salt
salt
on off
thing,
his.
yeah.
And then didn't he like? He was only open for about a month, and then he just fucked off to like Dubai or something. I think. I think it's nonsense. But the people
He's
that if you're
probably
dumb
happy
enough to
though.
go to it, then whatever in it. Like I think he's probably chuffed to bits. He's absolutely bought a career out of people
He's
just
probably quite a
following stuff
competent
on
chef.
social media.
Is he a chef or a waiter? I thought he was a waiter.
I don't know. But I don't. I mean, he's not a high-end chef, is he? He shouldn't be charging those prices just because people can take a
No.
photo of him and put it on their Instagram. I think it's a bad indictment on the modern age, is what I think it is. Here we go. Mads, what's your best drunken purchase following my recent paddleboard confession? I mean, I've done a few in my time,
Oh
man.
yeah, she bought a paddle board. That's funny,
It's
man.
a fucking good one, isn't it? I what have I bought? I mean, I've bought I must have said it on
Couple
here
of
before about
hookers.
when I was you don't buy them, mate. You lease them briefly.
Oh,
But no, I bought Heelys. You remember Heelys?
Yeah, they're
The
quality,
kids'
man.
shoes with the wheels in.
When you were
So
drunk,
me and my mate Rich, we were like, I reckon I was about 21, 22.
and they come in
And
adult
do you
sizes.
know, I wasn't 21 or 22 because I'd started
That
comedy.
is good news.
I remember thinking I was going to do it, wear them on stage. So I reckon this I must have been like 25 or 26 because I'd started comedy. And me and my mate Rich went to Wimbledon and we were drinking. It was during Wimbledon tennis, and we went up to this bar called like the Terrace or something that overlooks outside Wimbledon Station. And we got shit faced, and then we met there at 11 a.m. Man, it's gross. And we just got wankered. And it got to like 3 p.m. and we were just trashed, man. And then we were walking down Wimbledon Broadway, and the Entertainer toy shop was there. And in the window, it had a big sign said "Adult Heelys now in stock." And I was a bit pissed, innit? So I went, "Here
Perfect
we go."
timing.
We walked straight in. They had my size, 80 quid, and I just fucking just
Like in
bought a
that
pair
film
right
Big, you
there.
start jumping on the big piano on the floor. Get a crowd.
Let's buy a trampoline for your house. But yeah, I did it, man. I bought fucking Heelys, and I literally never wore them. I tried them on in the hallway, and I was like, "What are you doing?" So yeah,
I always
I
thought
think I
it was
kept them for
weird
about
in
10
that
years
film
before I
Big.
gave them. What did you find it weird? What, that the kid fucks a grown woman?
That, but
That is a bit
also
weird.
the fact that the kid wasn't that childish, but when he became an adult, he was way
You
more
be,
childish.
yeah,
Like the
I
kid
see
was
what you mean.
just a normal, like 11-year-old, and then
Seemed like a quite normal,
suddenly
chilled kid.
Tom Hanks is acting like a fucking 4-year-old.
Yeah. I
That
mean, I
always
suppose
was
it
weird,
was
I thought.
exaggerated for comic effect, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate.
Have you ever bought anything drunk that you remember?
No, not. I can't know. I'm definitely going to figure something crazy when we stop recording, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything I've done in recent
I
times.
was never really that drunk, I guess, during shopping hours, maybe.
No, it's Amazon is the one that has, I think, done people on eBay.
Yeah, I
But
never, when I was
but I think
drinking,
you've given up. Yeah, you've given up in that. The Amazon and eBay becoming sort of day-to-day usage things. That's
yeah,
been
I'm
out of
so
you're out of the
grateful that
game.
there wasn't really, there wasn't the internet when we had the internet, like emails, but it wasn't like now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here we go, Mike. What's the best thing you've ever won? When I was 12, I won a BMX and a charity raffle, and that's pretty much as good as it gets. That's a good prize, man. Imagine being 12 and winning a
Oh my
BMX.
God.
That is massive. Fuck. I can't even
I
imagine
won
what the
about
excitement would be
50
like.
something quid on a Lennox Lewis fight once. I think it was
Uh,
Riddick Bowe. I haven't really won. I haven't really won. My ex won and it's her absolute favourite thing. It was a
yeah.
1966 Gold. No, not a Gold, Beetle,
Oh,
and she
lovely.
won it on a
Fucking hell.
Facebook raffle.
That even
It's
sounds like it was a scam. Like, feels like a scam, but
yeah.
somehow you end up winning a real
I
thing.
would have said don't. It's a scam, and she won it.
Yeah.
And they
Mad.
dropped it round. It was so random. But it's her favourite car.
That's great. I don't think, you know what? I don't think I've ever won a thing like that. I've won
Nah.
money. Like, I remember the coolest one I ever did. I was at Cardiff Glee. This was probably 10, 12 years ago. It was when the old sound guy Dale used to work there. It was just really cool and fun,
Oh,
man.
I remember
It was like,
Dale, yeah.
it was a fun weekend. You'd end up just hanging out with
He
him
was
and
like a bit of
drinking
a
after the
northern
gig.
guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was fucking
Yeah.
cool, man. But after the gig, me and Dale just would drink. A few of us were drinking at the gig, and then me and Dale just got on it a bit, man. We started getting a little bit like, when that glint in your eye, you're like, let's turn one in. And then me and him just went to a casino. It's like 2 in the morning. We walked in, and then we changed up. Like, I changed up 50 quid. Right, just I wasn't going to play. All I was going to go on the cheapest blackjack tables. Like fucking £2 chips, and just try and just maintain it, play for half an hour or something. But we were walking past a roulette table like that, and I just flicked for a laugh. I just got like a fucking £5 or £10 chip, and I flicked it onto the roulette table, like, and it landed on a number, and the table went, and it landed on that number, right? And the fucking like the even croupier guy was like, "What?" And they just gave me all these chips, man. Like, I can't remember how much I won, but it was like, it was a lot. Like,
What,
off what I'd
hundreds of
chucked in.
pounds?
Yeah,
Or
off
if
the back
not,
of one chip. But it was pure because it was like, I can't remember what the odds are when you get the roulette. It's pretty big if you nail the number. And I just chucked this one on, man. Pure just piss take. Flipped drunk and flipped it. And it just landed on one. And then it went and hit it.
did you spend the money there or did you
I
leave
think I still came out. I
straight
lost
to
a
a
lot of it
dealer?
on the blackjack tables. But then I've had a few times, like, I don't really like gambling, but like me and my mates were in Amsterdam once, shit faced, and we went to a casino. And then we all four of us went on one blackjack table, and we all started with like €50. Within 10 minutes, we were all up to like 600, €700. We'd just gone on a little running streak, all four of us. So like, even like, it looked like we were reading cards or something, or counting cards. But we got to about like and then we lost a little bit. We ended up, all of us had about £500 worth of chips left on the table, €500 worth of chips off starting off 50. And I just went, shall we just call it? Let's all just quit now. We're well ahead. Let's quit and go out and have the best night of our lives. And all my mates went, yeah, fuck it, all right, then. So we just all just took our chips, went and cashed out, and just went out in Amsterdam, man. Had such a
That's
good night.
such a sensible idea.
Yeah, yeah. It's the only time I've
How
ever
were the
walked away ahead.
brothels? And three of us died of AIDS.
I'm the only one left. But yeah, I mean, they're not. I mean, that's not. It shouldn't be that the best thing you've ever won is just money. But I don't think I've ever won a prize in anything.
I can't think, man.
No, man. Um, I just realised Derek Hill was asked a question about dynamic pricing. In that sort of the tickets for Oasis, there was that dynamic pricing where people queued all day, and finally they got in, and then the prices had gone up because of demand. And it was like,
So many people are like 30,000th in the queue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Fucking.
I do think it's wrong. He's made a good point in that. Why is it acceptable for flights and hotels and stuff, but not okay for
It's because it's a faceless
gigs?
business, but when it's your favourite band, it makes you judge them, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree, and I think it is because we do know that certain bands have overridden it. The Cure actually are one of them. Paul Heaton's another where they have set upper limits on their tickets. They've said to
There's
Ticketmaster,
comedians
no.
that do it though, isn't there? Like set a limit
Yeah,
at a
yeah, yeah,
reasonable for the O2. Like Louis C.K. does that, I think, or
yeah. And I
yeah,
think so.
and
I
then
do think
wanks
it can.
off in front of you.
You pay 40 quid, you got to watch it.
You gotta watch him wank off.
But no, I do think the band can be held responsible to a certain degree. I think it's a cop out to say that, oh, it's not their fault. It's just like, and it's Ticketmaster. It's like, no, but they're Oasis. They get to say, if you telling me if Oasis said, look, all right, we won't sell our tickets through you, we're going to
Yeah,
do it ourselves, that Ticketmaster wouldn't have gone, oh, actually, sorry, yeah, you can set the amounts.
Ticketmaster definitely aren't arguing with it though. They get a higher money, don't they? The percentage or
Of
whatever.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think I'm against it. I think it's out of order.
Yeah, I do
But
think it'd be nicer
I'm
if
out
you
of
capped it.
I'm against it for everything. Flights, hotels. I don't think it's fair that suddenly just because there's a football Champions League match in Manchester on a Wednesday that your hotel should suddenly be £400 for the night. I think that's also morally wrong. So,
Yeah, it's
you know,
like that thing when you go into services and there's no other shop around, and they just hike the prices.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was
Like
gonna say I
petrol in
just spotted.
services is a lot more, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because they know
Yeah,
you've
no,
got no options.
exactly. I think it's a piss take, and you
Yeah.
know it shouldn't be done. But sadly, it is the nature of the game. Here we go. Sophie says, "Do you think Thames Water some sort of fine or something?" I reckon she's missed out a few words here. Something about Thames Water. Should they be fined for the public bills going up yet again? Should there be some sort of law so
She's
big
missed
bosses
out.
don't
I
get
know
huge
you don't
bonuses?
care about this question.
Basically, should there be some sort of law so big bosses don't get huge bonuses and leave the company fucked?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's off the back of the last question. It's similar stuff in it. It's fucking, it's just big companies take the piss, and it's almost because the way capitalism has allowed it to get to this point. It is impossible to do anything about. It's bigger than,
It
corporations are
goes
bigger
too
than
deep,
government
I
now.
guess, doesn't it?
Well, you can't. Governments I don't have the power to tell multinational corporations how to run their business anymore. So they've built a rod for their own back that we now pay for.
Well, Thames
I think,
Water,
they
is it
should.
a private company then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they've got the complete monopoly on
yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah. And they pump in shit
What's
into the
stopping
rivers.
somebody else starting another competitor?
I suppose, how do you start a company to then rival the biggest water company in the UK? Like, you can't just start a
They've got all
little
the
small company and go
contracts
like, we'll do it.
sewn
They've
up,
got
or
everything, all the infrastructure and that. So it's a monopoly. They can run it as shit as they want to, and because it's been privatized, there's nothing we can do. The only thing you could do is the government steps in and nationalizes it, but they won't have the guts to do that, would they? Because everyone would be like, "Oh, it's
yeah, it's
communism."
a
It's like, yeah,
tricky
but
one, isn't it?
it
It's
also
quite
might make
rare
our
that
bills
though,
go
isn't it, that
down.
one private company has the monopoly
It's
on
nice.
all
It's
of the
the most common
infrastructure.
thing. Oh no, but I mean, in terms of, most, you look at food now, is like, there's Unilever and there's companies that do have the monopoly on everything in it. It's just they just hide it behind subsidiaries and all the smaller companies that we know the names of.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
actually, it's, the Unilever are ultimately just dictating food policy across the world. So, I do think it's just all fucked, isn't it? But there's nothing we can do. The world has gone too far that way. Um, let's
Grow your
see
own
what this.
vegetables, in it.
That's basically it, isn't it? Um, any other points? Any other points? Do you think bottles of compressed? Oh, what was that thing about compressed meat for vaping? Something from the Spartans group, the health
I
group.
didn't understand the meat thing. Someone was
Right.
asking about this peptide that
Yeah.
you inject it and it helps you. It's supposed to be like really good. Helps your own body recover quickly. So it's whereas if someone does steroids, you're putting an alien thing into your body, like a growth hormone.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
peptides are like the side effects are minimal. They're obviously not as strong as like a steroid, but you could inject them into an ailment and it's just
Right.
fucking miraculous apparently. But a lot of it's anecdotal, but it does look good. That Andrew Huberman talks about them a lot at
Okay.
BP157. That it's banned in like the UFC and stuff. People are saying it shouldn't be banned, but I don't know what they're on about. I don't know the meat thing.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it comes from something. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I have absolutely no idea. Um, I can't find. There's other questions, but I can't see them through all the chat about stuff. So much stuff.
Maybe we should have a
Um,
splinter just for questions.
just for questions, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, we'll do that. If we miss any, we'll do them next time. But we should wrap it up in a minute. So yeah, that's about it, really. What any other business? What else is going on? Did you gig this weekend?
Yeah, I had so I was supposed to do I was at the backyard on Friday. I love that gig, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
It's such a
nice.
good room. It's so near to me. Um
That's the main thing, isn't it?
yeah, and you're always on there with like nice acts as well, like
Yeah.
um but so last night did a gig in Birchington, which I was supposed
Where's
to
that?
then close backyard. But
Where's
they put me on
Birchington?
Birchington's near Margate.
Fucking hell.
So then I'm on second in Birchington. But Lee didn't know that I was doing his other club as well. I just assumed he knew.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it back. And I had a few patrons going to the backyard as well.
Ooh.
So I apologised. And James Dowdswell did it instead.
What did they get him like last minute?
Well, he was opening the gig in Birchington, which is what I should have done.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
Fucking hell.
so yeah, it was a bit gutted because it's nice to finish if you double, nice to finish a gig 20 minutes from your house, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Backyard's the only club, I think it's the only club I've ever done it, where I just didn't show up. I just didn't realise I was doing it. And I literally got a call. I was meant to be opening because I was closing somewhere else. And I just got a call from Dan. at 8 p.m. Gig starts at like what? The gig starts at 8, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And like, I was meant to be on at 8:15. And he went, "Hello, mate. Where are you?" And I went, I'm at home in Tooting Broadway." And he went, "What?" I went, "Yeah. What are you talking about? Where am I meant to be?" And he went, "You're meant to be opening here in 15 minutes." And it was just a
Oh,
catastrophe.
shit.
I just hadn't read the message right. I thought that, yeah, basically a friend had to drop out, asked me if I was free. I went, "Yeah, man. Let me know if Dan needs me." And then he replied and said, "Yeah, sorted." And I read that as, "Oh yeah, you'll let me know." But he'd actually
It
meant,
is.
"I've just
That
spoken to
is
Dan."
fair enough, though, on
It's
your
very
part.
vague.
Yeah, it's ambiguous and it's sorted.
So I was waiting for a message from Dan to say like, "Yeah, just be here at this time," and it didn't come, and it was just mixed wires. So I just totally missed it. They had to just like they had to wait for the middle act to show up like 20 minutes late. So they started at like 25 past 8. The middle act went on, and by then they'd found somebody else to come, and they just it was fucked. I felt well guilty, man.
I've been on the way to a gig before and the traffic was so bad, but the whole show is in the car, like all of us,
Oh
and we
man.
just didn't make it. And we just, do you remember Tian and Derb?
Yeah.
And Benny Boot was actually there, I think, as well.
Okay.
Weirdly, yeah. I've only ever spent that time with him, and like, we just had to turn around.
Fuck. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up. So we'll do one. We'll do a proper one in the studio later in the week.
Yeah,
I
man.
reckon that'd be all right, innit? I can't do
Yeah,
it
man.
Thursday. This Thursday, I've got a I might get a load of this. I've got a gastroscopy that way and an endoscopy up the batty hole on the
At the
same
same
day.
time.
Same time.
Spit
Spit
roast.
roast.
What's it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got
what,
it
in
on
your
for...
nose? One of them is.
No. Down the throat, up the batty hole.
What, for different things?
No, the same thing.
Oh,
But this one's they're going to look in my stomach and my lower bowel. So basically, it's a follow up from the thing when I had in Australia back in
okay.
March. This is just to give me the all clear that everything's now back to full, perfect functionality. Because I'm still on the medication and I want to give it up, but I can't give it up. Well, I mean, I could just give it up if I wanted to, but I officially
It's the
shouldn't stop
lining of
taking it.
your belly, is it, or something? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still on the medication for that, and like until I've had these two tests and got the all clear, then I can stop taking the medication.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
good
going
then,
in
innit? Get
Thursday, and
that
I'm just getting
done.
them done both on the same day, and it's going to be gross.
Are you getting anaesthetized?
I'm not. I've asked to be. You can choose to be get general
Wanking.
anaesthetic. I've chosen to have four geezers wanking on me at the time when it's happening, but you can just choose different things.
Whatever your kinks, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've just got a
Someone
couple of people
spitting on
watching.
you,
Yeah. Just calling me names, telling me to grow up.
calling you a Nazi, calling you
Uh,
racial slurs.
but I've opted because basically, yeah, I've opted to have it under a. You can have a mild sedation, which is basically you're awake but you're a little bit groggy, or you can have full knockout. But I don't want that because then I'd have to get Hannah and Twyla's come and get me from the hospital.
What, are you just raw
So
dogging it?
I'm raw dogging it, mate. I'm just going to see what
What,
it's like.
fully raw dog?
Full on, just do it. I wait. I don't want none of
Staring
this.
at the ceiling.
Stare in the doctor's eyes.
Can I have full eye contact, no blinking? Just you and the doctor just raw dogging your day.
Yeah. Call me a wanker while you're doing it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna just get it done, man. In and out. I don't know which one they're doing first.
Yeah.
I sort of hope they're doing
Probably
the batty hole
kissing on
first.
the
Because apparently,
mouth.
I think the batty hole was the easier one.
Yeah, I
It's the
bet with you it
nicer
is.
one. It's the much nicer one.
Save the best to last.
No, I want that. I want to do the nice one because I don't want to go through the traumatic one of that, and then just when I'm still ramming something up my arsehole.
Don't tell them which one. Just say, can I do the nice one first? See which one they think it is. Sure, bend over, Mr. Donnelly.
So anyway, if we do on Friday, then
I've
I'll
never
give
had
you the full
anything put in my
rundown.
arse by a doctor, actually.
Just by just by friends.
Just good mates.
I've had I've never had a prostate exam or anything.
Nah, I've had
I've
blood
had
tests
two of
for
them.
prostate check, and that was it. It was
Right. Oh yeah, they do it mostly blood tests now.
yeah. I was thinking
I
I'm going to
always
get
I always opt
fingered.
for the old school.
I'll do it
No,
myself.
I'm scared of needles, man. Just can you get your
Yeah,
finger up there?
get it. Just put it in my fucking ass.
Uh, but yeah, it's they're not. I mean, I talk about it on stage. Prostate exams, man, it's so much easier than you expect. Like, it's not as traumatic as people think.
Yeah, I did ask at my doctor's, but they just give me a blood test. Fucking spoil sports. I think my doctor's frigid.
fucking wokerati, mate.
Fucking
Ruined that. Can't even get fingered
I
by a
fucking
doctor
kicked off a
anymore.
fuss, man. I said the NHS is fucked. This place is fucking fucked.
Can't get an appointment, and when you do, they won't fucking stick their thumb up your ass.
Just fucking Brexit.
Tommy Robinson, mate. He'll sort
Fucking
this out.
yeah. Fucking straight fucking replying to some of Robinson's tweets about this.
Bits where you're throwing bricks at a fucking immigration hotel just because they won't finger you.
Fucking typical, innit?
Yeah, mate. um, anyway, all right, let's wrap it up, man. I'm gonna go to bed, but we'll be back. Yeah, we're back later in the week. Thanks, patrons.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone
patrons.
else. Have a good week, and yeah, we'll speak to you next time.